I am Jenna Bosonko and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kaiba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. And here are the main local business, sports and international news headlines. Gambia Scorpions made a winning start to the first appearance at the African Cup of Nations, which was described as the most important game in the history of Gambian football. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, on Wednesday presided over the 2021-2022 Trafficking Persons Report questionnaire from the U.S. Department of State office. The Canifing Municipal Council on Tuesday appeared before a select committee of the National Assembly to present reports as part of an annual oversight function by the legislature. In business news, MK Exported Agro Limited, an Indian-owned company which has been in the Gambia for the past decades, has expanded its business into large-scale farming in Fonyi Bondali in the West Coast region. And in international news, it has been confirmed that 5 members of the Gambian family are among the 11 who died in the New York fire outbreak in a 19-story bronze building on Sunday. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. For joining us. This is QTV Midday News and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, Gambia Scorpions made a winning start to their first appearance at the Africa Cup of Nations, which was described as one of the most important games in the history of Gambian football. Following the victory, QTV's Ali Cisse went out to get the reaction from some supporters. Here is what they had to say.
A quite historic day here in the Gambia. The Gambia playing their first game in an AFCON tournament and winning against Mauritania. It is a quite great moment here at Westfield. As you can see, supporters of the Scorpions are here. Why are you howling? What howling? Bro, lawyer taken out against Gambia. New recent first game against Mauritania.
Well, never condemn, bro. Never condemn. Jamal was solid. This is what I was solid, bro. When I'm over Sunday, then condemn, boy. Hold on. Then let them. You got a group stage. You got a group stage. Then my final, bro. Hold on. You got to get one there. No, they're condemned. Got to get one there. Look at this. Look at the crowd. Everybody is happy.
You no feel take gonna. You no feel take gonna give us a Gambia recent first game.
ñu ngi wax alhamdulilah rabbil alamin nu musuta am Gambia moo am Gambia tey victory moo ñëw soo xeewal bi ñun ñëpp a koy célébrer ba suba.
waaw comme ni ñu ko waxee rek dañ ko célébrer ba suba loolu moo nekk di current atmosphere here at Westfield comme ni ko waxee rek Gambia si génn nañ pour célébrer. Bro, no feel tey because Gambia recent first game bi.
I'm very happy for Gambia today. I'm very happy. I'm Amadou Ba from Gambia.
Amadou Ba, comme ni ma ko waxee rek we're still we at Westfield quite exciting atmosphere here comme ni ko waxee rek yow bro mën nga ñu bàyyi sa tur bi ak loo yëg tey bi nga gisee Gambia win seen first game against Mauritania.
Man maa ngi tudd Moussa Diouf jógee ci National Scorpion Fans Club bi kii kontaan na tey kontaan bu ma kontaan tey mënu ma koo wax sax su ma naree wax na tey boor na sat du jeex waaw kontaan na ba xam ne bi mooy first time Gambia dan African Cup of Nations.
Wow, Ousseynou Gambia, Ousseynou, gis nga Gambia win and first game against Mauritania. How do you feel today as a Gambian?
This is the best dream come true. This is the most amazing day on my life as far as Gambia sport is concerned. We have been waiting for this day. The first thing was qualify the AFCON, and our first ever game in AFCON, we won it 3-point clear, and it was the most amazing game. So today we are happy. We thank the players, we thank the FA, we thank everyone, the journalists, and everyone doing an amazing work.
Thank you so much. Well, bro, loo yëg tey bi nga gisee Gambia win seen first game against Mauritania.
kontaan nañ trop waaw yal na ndam bi mu am
rek am nañ fi beneen pantam yow tam ñëw nga soo sa Gambian mbax na bi how do you feel today?
Yeah, it's our first game in AFCON and first game is rusty. As you can see, Senegal and Egypt, they were all panicking in the first game, but I believe next game you will see powerful Gambia stinking because this is our first time and you can see the boys. They are trying to get their feet on the ground. Definitely, it's a wonderful match.
Thank you so much. Well, like I said, this is the atmosphere here at Westfield. I mean, where supporters of the Scorpions have come out at Westfield to celebrate what is a quite historic victory for the Scorpions in their first appearance in the AFCON tournament. Ablaye Jallow, Jamano, 10-minute goal into the first half of that encounter. has earned the Gambia a significant 3 points in the ongoing AFCON tournament in Limbe, Cameroon. The Gambia will face Mali in their next game before rounding up their group stage games with Tunisia. For QTV News from Westfield, I am Aliou Cisse.
Aliou Cisse there, now looking forward to our game with Mali. Now, the Vice President of the Gambia, Dr. Aissatou Touré, on Wednesday presided over the 2021-2022 Trafficking in Persons Report questionnaire from the U.S. Department of State Office. The event, organized by NATIP and its partners, highlights the crimes against trafficking in persons. Annabelle Gay has the rest of that story.
The two-day gathering would seek to detail responses that will provide the building blocks for the 2021 and 2022 Trafficking in Persons Report, therefore requiring institutional input from government and non-state actors. Organized by the National Agency Against Trafficking in Persons, NAATIP, and supported by the IOM and the U.S. State Department. The questionnaires will help to support NAATIP and partners on devising mechanisms and new approaches in fighting against this menace. In welcoming the gathering, the Executive Director of NAATIP, Tulai Jawara Cisse, calls for a concerted effort in the fight against trafficking in persons.
This we shall do with a view to drawing attention to the global phenomenon, looking at how it affects our society and identifying ways and means to collectively monitor and combat the ill of trafficking in persons within our country. The Trafficking in Persons Victims Protection Act of the USA, as amended, requires the Department of State to submit an annual situation report on tip to the US Congress by 1st June each year. It calls on government around the world to exchange on the subject of trafficking in persons and make available critical information that will inform its annual reporting on progress, challenges, opportunities to fight the heinous crime against humanity.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Honorable Dauda Jallow, says trafficking in persons is a serious crime and gave an assurance that his office will prosecute anyone found to be engaged in this.
Criminals involved in trafficking must be apprehended, prosecuted, and punished, not only to reflect the magnitude of these heinous and egregious crimes as human rights violation, but also to serve as deterrent to others. The full force of the law must be made to descend on those found culpable for such acts. Needless to say that under my watch, no one shall be spared. The law will be applied without regard to status, sex, or affiliation.
Officially launching the report questionnaire, the Vice President of the Gambia, Dr. Aissatou Touré, says the Gambia government strongly condemns trafficking in persons and will always be in the forefront in fighting it.
The government of the Gambia will pursue its stance and leave no stone unturned in combating the heinous crime within and outside our borders. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, owing to our porous borders, the Gambia has been an active transit zone for trafficking in persons. In particular, the recruitment of women, girls, and boys, mainly from West African countries, for the purpose of exploitation in the sex and labor market. For several decades now, the Gambia has also been a destination for children on the move, including the Almudus, who rather than pursue education, for which they were sent to religious schools and homes, are instead engaged in domestic servitude and ultimately find themselves as beggars in our streets. A sentence of 15 years and above is also meted for trafficking in persons in adults.
A task force will be set up to deal with finalizing the questionnaires, after which it will be submitted to the U.S. Department of State Office for consideration. For QTV News, this is Annabelle Gay.
Now, the Kanifing Municipal Council has on Tuesday appeared before a select committee of the National Assembly to present reports as a part of an annual oversight function by the legislature. The first day of the meeting witnessed the presentation of a 2019 management letter by an audit director, which, among other things, revealed adverse findings of stampled payment vouchers worth over $7.6 million seized, not presented for audit. Mohamed Lamin Choi has the rest of that.
Select Committee on Regional Government and Lands Ombudsman and IEC convened on Tuesday to perform an oversight, and the first to appear is the Kanifing Municipal Council. The reports for submissions are a financial statement, the GBPA compliance, and management letter. A management letter is prepared by an auditor and contains findings and recommendations for improvement on internal control that were identified during the audit. The management letter presented before the lawmakers for review covers April 2017 to December 2019. Bakare Trawale is the Director of Audit for Municipalities and Councils. The Director reports audit queries which revealed that several payment vouchers amounting to nearly $7.7 million were sampled by the Council, but missing from the vouchers submitted for review.
The unpresented vouchers could not be reviewed to ensure they are appropriately supported and authorized. 2, this may be indicative of a more general problem of filing risks of such transactions not accounted for.
The KMC's Deputy Director of Finance, Sirif Njai, presents the Council's response, saying the missing payment vouchers have been extracted and ready for the auditor's inspection.
Auditors further comment. Originally, the unpresented vouchers amount was 40,354,144.39. This had been reduced to 7,677,470.61 by the vouchers subsequently brought for our review after several reminders.
Another query in the audit is about the filling of 11 key positions by people not suitably qualified, a number of whom are direct entrants without any or relevant qualifications. With the absence of evidence of experience or qualifications, the audit director reports that the personnel fall short of the basics established by the scheme of services of the municipalities.
Implication: filling key positions with less than qualified candidates seriously risks efficiency and performance of the council. This is particularly true for top positions, which have the potential to affect the entire department unit as it inherently affects everyone else.
The Deputy Finance Director, on behalf of KMC, in reading from the Council's written response, replies that the Council's management will review the concerns highlighted by the audit and engage the establishment and appointment committee to address regularizing the situation before the end of 2021. The committee members also heard about an audit finding that the KMC does not have a recovery plan to protect businesses during a disaster.
Priority ranking high. Implication: there is a high risk that business continuity will be severely disrupted in an event of a disaster. This may have a ripple effect on the sustainability of service prospect to the council. It may also affect accountability of the council to its constituents who rely on validation of data information by assurance providers for decision-making purposes.
The council knows the concern and promises to establish a comprehensive disaster recovery mechanism to mitigate possible losses from disaster by the end of the second quarter of 2021. Assessing the internal audit function of the council, the draft audit findings reveal that there are numerous instances of internal control lapses which the internal audit function failed to pick up, even though it appears to review transactions. The Select Committee, in its subsequent meetings with the Council and having reviewed the management letter, will scrutinize the report and, if necessary, engage the Council for questioning or conduct further investigations to adopt the financial statement and report or not. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
From that story by Mamadou Lamin Choi, we will now go for a short commercial break. And when we return, we have some local, international and sports news. Do stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV Midday News, and I'm Jenna Bosonko. Now, the Gambia Family Planning Association recently celebrated All Girls Day with the theme, "We are girls, not wives. Give us space," at a ceremony held at the centre in London Corner. Lola M. Kamara attended the event and she files in this report.
These December of each year is set aside to celebrate All Girls Day. The colorful event brought together girls with their boy counterparts from the Qtv municipality and West Coast regions to discuss through plays and poems various matters including harmful traditional practices, gender inequality, sexual harassment, early marriage, teenage pregnancy, and period poverty, amongst other topics. Delivering the welcoming remarks, Anna Keta, a member of Youth Action Movement YAM, reminded all girls to remain true to who they are and to never give up in life. She thanked the Gambia Family Planning Association and partners for collaborating to put on such an event. Mariama Fane, a guest speaker of the event, advised girls to stay in school as this will pave the way for parents and government to provide for them.
It's only in staying in school and studying very hard that you girls can become the president of this country one day. You can also become the vice president or anybody that you want to be tomorrow. It is only that when you become, sexually active that we advise you to use family planning. But the best thing is for you to abstain.
Fatu F. Sane, chairperson of Youth Action Movement, said the adolescent and youth survey conducted in the Gambia in 2000 by the Gambia Bureau of Statistics indicated that 41.5% of youth aged 15 to 24 years were sexually active, with approximately 15% of sexually active females reporting the occurrence of at least one pregnancy.
In the Gambia, young people constitute of nearly half of the population. Thus, their advancement, including their health, should be ranked high among national priorities, especially girls. But is this the case? Sadly not. Therefore, adolescent and youth sexual and reproductive health and rights remains challenged with far-reaching social and economic consequences in the country for several years.
Gamo Seka, a parent, gave a word of advice to these girls.
Dañoo wax xale yi rek ngeen am education pour ngeen jàpp seen jàng bi te
girls should have good education because only knowledge can get you what you want. Boys will leave you behind if you happen to drop out of school. And we as parents also discourage early marriage. Kesamandin Ture, Youth Program Officer of the Gambia Family Planning Association, said GFPA attaches great importance to the welfare of the country's youth, with a special focus on access to adolescent, HIV and AIDS advocacy. She outlined some of the strategies by the Gambia Family Planning Association.
It's among these reasons that GFPA operates 2 youth clinics in Bundung and Buyam with a view to address the reproductive health concern of adolescents in the areas and plans to afford to expand these services. We have it currently in Buyam and Newfoy, but we are working to expand it into other regions.
Speakers renewed their call on the government, decision makers and policy makers to drive their attention to goals. The KM Regional Scout Band and the different drama groups took to the stage to entertain and enlighten through plays and song. QTV News, Lolly M. Camera.
From that story by Lola M. Camera, now let's take a look at business news as MK Exported Agro Limited, an Indian-owned company which has been in the Gambia for the past decades, has expanded its business into large-scale farming. The company has started cultivating a 250-hectare potato and onion farm in Fonyibondale in the West Coast region to the delight of the villagers. Babu Karsi visited the farm and he found this report.
According to the farm owner, once the farm starts operating and harvesting, the country will be able to rely on it for sufficient supply of onions and potatoes. MK Exported Agro Limited initially dealt in rice, sugar and flour importation. Now the CEO of the company is delving into farming after being allocated 250 hectares of land in a village called Basiramadi in the Fonyibondale district of West Coast region. Here, work is at an advanced stage, and according to Sanjay Shangu, the agronomist of the farm, come 3 months' time, everything will be green.
Now, normally process is like this to start planting now, and after this 3-4 months, I give water, irrigation, and also fertilizers, and also some weeding. Lot of job from women and here around this 5-6 village. A lot of job. Every day I need to like this roughly 60 to 80 people. Drivers and helpers and everything, you know. A lot of job creativity this farm future. And also 4 or 5 months after I harvesting onion, and our planning to here onion 1 month is 4,000, 5,000 from per year consumption here.
For the Alcalo of the village, Sajo Jalo, the coming of the farm in their village is a blessing, as it will bring huge development that they have never had. We have agreed that he will build a borehole for the village. He will construct our road from the highway to the village and provide us with electricity. He will also consider us as a priority in employing our youth and women to work on this large farm. We are so grateful to have him here, as we are a village lagging behind. Since independence, we are still struggling to have basic provisions. The farm was paid a visit by staff of the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment. Faba Jame is the Director of Industry and Investment. He told us the farm is part of the ministry's mandate to support businesses like this to excel for the benefit of the country.
The ministry, we have 3-4 mandates. One is trade, one is industry, one is employment, and then we also have regional integration. We all know that today we have the AFCFTA, which is the African market that has been inaugurated and is being implemented. So we cannot wait for this kind of opportunity without taking part in the process to ensure we provide the support and the technical assistance that he would need.
The CEO of the company, Nankishore Rajwani, known to many as Nandu, says Gambia is now his country and he will do all he can to support the growth of the country in any way possible.
So I have taken my initiation that to grow onion, potato and rice. So the Gambia will not suffer in further after in 10-year time, so there will be less import. So at least Gambian people will get good quality of the food. The way I'm seeing that the people will get about 200 people job every month here. People don't have to go from leave the village to go to city for work. And we can get onion, potato we have, there will be no shortage, stable of the price, so people can get goods on time.
81 locals from the villages around this area are currently working on this farm, but according to the agronomist, they will require 200 people when the farm is fully operational. The farm will produce enough potatoes and onions for the country to be self-sufficient, with enough over to be exported. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Looking forward to what that farm has to offer. Now let's take a look at news beyond our borders. It has been confirmed that 5 members of one family are among the 11 who died in the New York fire outbreak on a 9-story bronze building on Sunday morning. In all, 17 people, including 8 children, died. Zainab Haidara has the rest of that.
Reports on the aftermath of the New York fire have revealed that 5 members of one Gambian family lost their lives in the blaze. 3 children and 2 parents were the Ducures, who live on the top floor of the 19-story Twin Parks Northwest building, as well as messages of condolence from various quarters, including President Biden. A GoFundMe fundraiser for the victims' families has been set up by the Gambian Youth Organization headquarters. A GoFundMe fundraiser by the Gambian Youth Organization, whose office is located close to the Bond building, targeted raising $200,000 to help attend to the victims' needs, including burials. At the time of this report, the fund has already passed $982,000 and seen more than 12,000 contributing. The city's firefighters commissioner, Daniel A. Negro, said the firefighters found victims on every floor of the 19-story bronze building. Haji Dukure, a relative of the deceased Dukures, speaking to U.S. media, says the Gambian community has gathered to mourn together as one family, and that this community comprises Gambians and people from all African countries. Gambians around the world mourn with the families of the victims. For QTV News, I am Zainab Haidara.
May their souls rest in perfect peace. That is all we have for you in this edition of QTV Midday News. Join us at 8 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching and have a great day.